The first work that we're doing is aimed at high performance light cells, because sulfur can make very, very light cells. Light cells, things that travel further. But sulfur is also a more abundant chemistry. It's a technology that can be implemented in very safe ways, and sulfur is low cost.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. Joining me today, John Wood, the CEO of Gelion. John, very good to speak with you. There's been a steady flow of news from the company over the past year or two. Could you give us, our viewers, a quick summary of the key milestones you've hit to date?
Oh, look, yeah, it's been a very productive time for Gelion. We've had a lot on. We've made great progress. We released our Gen 3 results, about 400 watt hours per kilogram. Extraordinary result for the battery. We signed commercial JDAs, Glencore, Ionblox. We did a first contract with our energy storage integration division, £1 million contract with the Borg Group. We came out with an announcement about the fact that we had actually produced a new separator made with a solid state material that showed some great first results with our chemistries. We launched our recycling group technology that we'd acquired out of Johnson Matthey, and we're fortunate to have been awarded some support from that from the TDAP program in the UK. And then most recently, we announced that the Australian government had given us a £2.5 million grant. The ARENA, the department did that to implement a advanced commercial prototyping centre in Australia. So very, very busy period for our team, and we're not slowing down.
And John, could you tell us more about the news you published last week about your sulfur cathode's viability to be paired with solid-state electrolyte materials?
Yeah, this goes to the core of what we're doing, Stephen. Sulfur is a very exciting cathode material in the battery industry. Lighter, safer, low cost, and very, very high potential, very, very high performance. Now, Gelion was founded by Thomas Maschmeyer, and Thomas and his team had actually come up with a way of pairing sulfur with different anode technologies, so lithium metal and silicon. Now, when you're constituting those batteries, those cells, you can use a liquid electrolyte, or now people are moving towards solid state electrolytes. So we'd already proven that our cathode material would work effectively with silicon and would work with lithium metal. What this announcement was about was very exciting, was that we actually were able to show that the same material, same sulfur material, would work with liquid electrolytes and also with solid state electrolytes. And of course, solid state has a whole lot of advantages in the future for performance and safety itself.
How big is the market for this technology, John?
If you look at the battery market today, it's dominated by what's called lithium-ion intercalation technology. So that's where the ions go across, and they go between sheets in the anode and the cathode. Now, to get more energy in, you can go to a sulfur conversion cathode. That's the work that Gelion is doing. So the first work that we're doing is aimed at high performance light cells, because sulfur can make very, very light cells. Light cells, things that travel further. But sulfur is also a more abundant chemistry. It's a technology that can be implemented in very safe ways, and sulfur is low cost. And so as we progress, we'll be diversifying across a very large part of the battery market. Now, battery market, today is one of the biggest markets going around the world, and sulfur will find itself into many applications in that market.
What's next in the development process, and what's the time frame for the development, John?
Well, you're going to see both progression and breakout. So talking in the short term, you're going to see progression on our performance. So we're working to advance our chemistry systematically. but we're also working on breakout performance as well. We want to see sulfur adopted around the world. We want to see it bring the potential that it can to the energy transition. So we're applying our sulfur cathode across those applications. First, as I said, pairing it with lithium metal for the highest performance, then pairing it with safe anode technology like silicon anode technologies, and working on the solid state and liquid. So you'll see progressive technology results, and then you'll see commercialization starting to come in. And so we're working very hard now to find our way into the supply chain, and that means partnerships. That means working with other suppliers who are part of the solution, putting them together to get the world's best batteries.
What's next for Gelion then? What should investors be looking for?
I think you're looking for progress in those partnerships. You're seeing progress in our leadership, in our performance leadership, and you're seeing progress towards commercialization. You'll be seeing orders coming in from our integration business. So that's revenue and margin coming in from the integration business, even as we're working towards technology leadership and commercialization of our own technologies with our sulfur technologies. You also see progression where we're working to derive value from our investment in our recycling technologies and our zinc technology as well.
John, I hope you'll keep us updated on any progress on all of those. Thank you very much for speaking with us today.
Thank you very much, Stephen.
That's John Wood, the CEO of Gelion.